This is Bible study of Psalm 23. The psalm begins with the phrase, a psalm of David. You need to understand that David was also a shepherd, but he was also the king of Israel. And so he has great understanding of both of these subjects, of providing for his people and providing for sheep. Now we know that the beginning of the phrase, the Lord is my shepherd, is actually a later translation. What it actually says is Yahweh, or Yehovah, is my shepherd in the Hebrew. So that there's no distinction. There's no chance that you'll think that it's Buddha or Krishna or Muhammad. It's only Yahweh who is David's shepherd. Sheep were imprinted at birth to follow their shepherd. That's just in their nature. If you bring a baby lamb into your house, it will follow you around for the rest of its life. Their trust in their shepherd was complete. So we need to understand that this is a psalm about sheep as well as about us. The Lord is my shepherd, is my shepherd. I shall not want, or I shall not lack. Another translation is, I have everything I need. Now this phrase is a covenant type of promise. It's the promise that the greater party in the covenant would make to the lesser party. It's their promise to protect and to supply everything needed by the people who have chosen to trust in them. So in our case, we don't need to make a living. We're just sheep. We receive our living from our shepherd. And the shepherd makes the sheep lie down in pastures of green grass. It's helpful to know something about sheep, that sheep can't digest their food unless they're at peace, unless they're lying down and resting. They can eat as much as they can hold, but if they're not at peace, they won't digest it and they will starve and will certainly not produce wool. So it's necessary for sheep to rest in the same way that it's necessary for us to rest. And the shepherd leads us by quiet waters. It's important to know that Israel is a mountainous country, and a lot of the waters were raging torrents, and weren't just quiet streams in the valley. So the shepherd had to look after the sheep in that respect also. Another promise that the shepherd makes is safety and guidance. So the word, he restores my soul, reflects this. And he restores our soul by guiding us in right paths in safe places. He's the one who knows the way that we should go, not always we ourselves. And he does this for his name's sake. Again, this is a reference to the covenant promise to look after us. He does it because of the honor of his own name, not necessarily because of what we've done. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death. Now this is a continuous phrase in Hebrew. So that means every time I walk through a threatening situation, I will choose not to fear, because I know how powerful and how trustworthy my shepherd is. His rod and staff comfort me. So remember that his rod and staff give guidance to us by say go this way or that way, or that same staff can be used to pull us out of a pit. But it also can be used to whack a wolf on the skull or to attack dogs that are marauding sheep. So this is trust in our shepherd. He prepares a table before me. The word table here is a shepherd's word. That's how they referred to the pasture. The pasture was the table with the food of the sheep. And sheep are very finicky eaters. There's a lot of weeds and types of vegetation that they can't eat without becoming sick. And if they get sick, they don't produce any wool. And they're distressed and they can't eat. So the shepherd had to go into the field before he brought the sheep there, and he had to pull out dangerous weeds. He had to check for marauding animals and for insects and vermin and snakes, and make sure that the table was prepared for his sheep. And there is no way to guarantee that enemies wouldn't be around. There's no way to drive out all the wolves, for example. So the shepherd simply had to be aware of their presence, and the sheep could also be aware of their presence, but because of their trust in the shepherd, they could still eat in peace. And the phrase, "he anoints my head with oil," refers to the practice of putting oil on the head of the sheep, because insects would tend to buzz around their head, and this oil kept the insects away, as well as provided healing for the sheep. And then this again is referring to keeping the sheep out of distress and keeping them in peace. Peace of mind is the promise of this anointing with oil. Now, my cup runneth over refers to excess of prosperity, just having much more than you need. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life. That speaks of the confidence that we have in our shepherd, that all our life is going to be looking after us, not just for the moment. And these blessings shall follow me. Again, a deeper form of confidence that no matter what situation that I'm in, the promise of the good and the protection and the prosperity of the shepherd is the continual thing that I can count on. And the phrase, "I will dwell in the house of the Lord to the end of my days," or forever. We need to remember that the house of God, or the temple, wasn't built during David's lifetime. In fact, his son Solomon built it after his death. So the house of the Lord that David was referring to was not some building. He was referring to the household, or to the family of God, that sense of belonging, that sense of being a son or daughter of a great king, of being a sheep of a great shepherd. So I hope some of this background material is beneficial to you in your study of Psalm 23.